All right, let's see. Let's get YouTube on, and then we're gonna start the show. This ought to be a fun one today, folks. There's some crazy shit going down. Yeah, good times. Matter of fact, that's the message of the day. Good times. Looks like YouTube is online. All right, cool. Great to have you, everybody. Hi there. Welcome. My name's Aaron. I own and operate Subbrief. You guys probably know about that already if you're a Patreon on the YouTubes a little bit. Maybe here on Twitter. Sometimes I say crazy shit on Twitter too. It's kind of fun. We're going to do a press brief. We're going to watch a press brief with the President of the United States today, scheduled to begin at 2. I have learned this man does not keep to any kind of schedule. I've waited 2 hours for a press conference before. We ain't doing that again. So we will see if he's on time. And while we wait, we will do a little bit of the long requested, you guys won't leave me alone about this freaking game, Command Modern Operations. So we're going to do a little bit of kicking the shit out of Venezuela in the most realistic military simulator out there, available to the public. The classified edition of this game, I'll call it, simulation, is used by the U.S. Navy for training. I don't know if the other branches use it, because it does cover land warfare as much as electronic warfare, which Army and Navy and Air Force all get into, of course. When I say Navy, I meant Marine Corps, including them in that, of course. And so we're just going to beat the shit out of Venezuela for a little while we wait on the president to come along and see if he actually makes it to his own press conference at 2 o'clock today. So let me bring up the White House. I'm going to go to the White House webpage right here. And there we go. So whenever they go live, we should, air quotes, see it on my screen, and hopefully that will trigger me to stop doing what I'm doing, having fun down here, and we'll pay attention to some of that. So what's going on? Let me catch you guys up on this. This is a scenario built by a fan. No, I don't know that. It's built by a person. This is not by the game company. It is called Blockade Venezuela. He built this a while ago. This is not a new scenario. It's available for free on Steam if you want to download it yourself. But the whole idea is to keep all the traffic from going into Venezuela, merchant traffic, oil, because of sanctions, drugs, of course. We're going to stop everything. And so that's kind of what we're doing here today. Let's come over here. As you can see, we already have contestant number 1 finding out what it's like to try and run the blockade with our USS Independence here. This is the Montpelier St. Paul. No, it's a Freedom class right here, so it can't be that one. So I want to call it the Montpelier, but it can't be. So he's right now beating the bejesus out of a tanker, because that's what we do. This is a commercial dry bulk carrier. Dry bulk as in probably cocaine. Therefore, we are taking his ass to church. He's about to see Jesus. That's what's going on right there. That's a 76 millimeter gun. Is that what's on the Independence class? Let's take a look. The beautiful thing about this game is this right here, folks. Look at this. Look at what I got for you. Here, let's get this out of the way. I know you guys like watching that, but let's do some learning. Book learning. Am I muted? No. Good. I'm yelling into the void back here. What kind of gun is on the bow of this little crappy ship? It is, I want to say 76 millimeter, but I'm going to check that because I don't think it's that big. I don't think it's that big at all. Matter of fact, I know it's not that big. All right, let's go to weapons. These are sensors. Where are my weapons at? They're down here. Here we go. Okay, so we got some 50 cals. That's if the sailors get a little frisky, if they want to get out there and have a good time. 57 millimeter. It's a 57 millimeter Bofors Mark III. Does 4-round burst. Well, we are 4-round burst in the bejesus out of this cocaine carrier over here. To the starboard side, trying to run our little blockade. You can't do that, sir. It's not allowed. Not allowed. So right now, I'll give you guys an update. If you're not a Patreon or if you're not a YouTube member, you didn't see this. So I'll catch you all up on it now. I put this out last Friday. The United States added a Ticonderoga class cruiser to the cartel operation off the coast of Venezuela over the weekend. I believe that's been reported widely now, but I told select members, subscribers, if you will, about it on Friday. So that's part of the benefit you get. Plus, I did a 10 to 15 minute, I'll say 10 minute, I'll round down, breakdown of what's going on in the in the Norwegian Sea right now. It appears that at least 3 nuclear Russian submarines are at sea which is not unusual this time of year at all. What is unusual is one of them got a little bit close to the Gerald R. Ford aircraft carrier that's in the Norwegian Sea. Chased that guy away, apparently. It's really hard to confirm stuff like that because neither country makes public releases on what exactly is going on. So all we can do is really watch airplanes and then look for ship updates via Maxar satellite reconnaissance things, pictures. And it looks like the latest info I have as of this afternoon is that the Gerald R. Ford drove north all the way up the coast of Norway. Yeah, they chased some son of a bitch back to Russia. Probably a submarine. I don't know why you do that with your aircraft carrier, but it's badass. Of course, the aircraft carrier is surrounded by ships, so they're probably doing most of the chasing. So that's a big win for NATO forces, Norway. UK's involved. They got their P-8s up there, dropping sonar buoys and stuff all over them. Norway, the VPA that's up there, I forget their name, so I hope one of them reaches out to me like they have in the past and remind me of their squadron name because I forget it. Those guys are badass, and they got in their P-8s as well. Yeah, and helped us track down the son of a gun. Now, I said 3 submarines. We got 1. That means 2 we don't know about. That doesn't mean that the Navy's not tracking them right now. 1, I am convinced, personally, is my opinion. I ain't got no evidence for this, okay? But I think one of the 3 Russian submarines is under the Arctic Circle, or is in the Arctic Circle. It wouldn't be under it. I keep saying under as in there's ice there, but in the summertime, I'm pretty sure all the ice is gone, or at least a lot of it is up there. I don't know if there's any ice in the summertime in the North Pole. There used to be. Not anymore. Global warming. And then in the wintertime, it all comes back. There's probably some up there. I can't imagine it all melts. Anyway, my point is it's not very thick if it's there. Oh, yeah, and then the third one. The third one, I don't know. The third one's either in the Norwegian Sea or it's in the Barents or it's in the Arctic Circle. Yeah, I have no idea where the third one would be. It could be in any one of those 3 places. One thing's pretty certain. It's pretty clear we found one because that's kind of what all the indications are. And if one's up in the Arctic Circle, we probably have a submarine plastered on the rear end of that guy. And then we have a whole fleet up there around the Gerald R. Ford, probably looking for submarine number 3. All we know is he's not in port. That's really all we know about that third submarine. And I gave the names of those submarines to, it was in my video. It was Kazan was one, Severnitsk was the other. And what's the third one? Anyway, as a 3, they're all Yasen classes. Yasen modernized, like the upgraded version of the Yasen. Did Severnitsk get the modernization? Severnitsk was like hull 1. I'm pretty sure it did, though. Anyway, we'll say it's modernized. We'll say it's definitely not quiet, but it's quieter than it was. It's not quieter than it was. The Severnitsk came out. I'll tell this story. What year was that? Oh, wow. What year was that? I'll say 2018. Around 2018, and give me a little bit of leeway on that. It might have been 2016. Anyway, she came out. Very first Russian Yasen class submarine, hull 1, coming out of the Barents. She had been only going to the Barents for the longest time because they were doing sea trials for so long. I thought the White House just updated. Hold on one second. No. And but not only did she go through the Barents, she went right into the Norwegian Sea for like the first time. And we were like, oh, guess who's coming to play, boys? And then she disappeared. We lost her. And that's just, hey, sometimes that happens. All right. Russians got one on us back, this is almost 10 years ago now. Brand new submarine. Russian submarines, when they're brand new, after sea trials and they get all the bugs worked out, they're generally pretty quiet. They really are. I'm no bias. I've seen it myself. They are quiet for probably about a year to 18 months. Has been about the time span of that. And that was that window for that particular hull. So she comes out Norwegian Sea, gone. Turns on the stealth motor or something, whatever you want to call it. That's not real, by the way. That's a bullshit. Anyway, but what's not bullshit is we do lose her. That's very real. And so the UK's out there with her type, I want to call it a 42, 43 destroyer. Anyway, or frigate. It's an ASW frigate is what it is. And it's got some good ASW. It's got a very good VDS on it. It's the Captor VDS. It's the same VDS we're putting on American ships now. That's how good it is. We're using some European stuff. Yeah. Sometimes you got to use what's best, even if it's not yours in that case. So they're out there looking for it, not finding it. We scramble some assets out of the United States. You know, I'm not privy to any of this stuff. I found out about this all after it happened. And sure enough, the freaking Yasen comes down here to North Atlantic, wants to fool around off the East Coast, listen to some rock and roll, maybe visit Cuba, which I think it did. I think it did visit Cuba. So someone Google that. What year did the Severnitsk Yasen Hall 1 visit Cuba? I think it was 2016. If you guys can Google that, that's the year I'm talking about. Okay. So obviously when she pulls into Cuba, everyone's like, she's over there, move all the assets around Cuba and get her whenever she goes back out to sea again. And that's what they did. And they followed her all the way home. So, and we learned a lot. Oh my God. Yeah, that was such a great time. But it also shows that Russians can build quiet submarines. It's not the stereotypical, the way it used to be. They'd go to sea and they would be so loud. We have to start turning on filters on the sonar screen just so we could keep situational awareness of what other contexts might be in the area. Yeah, they were that loud. They can be that loud again. They can be that detectable again. But like I said, for the first 12, 18 months, typically that maybe it's a little bit longer now, depending on how good their maintenance program is, they're pretty quiet. And I got a chance to meet some of the sonarmen, well, at least one of the sonarmen that did help track that haul this out. I found out about it. He told me about it. And it was a really good meet and greet. So I should have some pictures. I think I have pictures on the Patreon of that visit. They actually invited me on board. I was like, that's fucking awesome. Thank you. And they told me about the entire hunt. And then those guys are badass. I got to see the actual Captor 4 VDS. That thing is huge. I had no idea. It doesn't look that big in the pictures. Nope, not at all. But it's really big and it's really capable. I got to see their equipment. Oh, so good. I got to say this about UK. I know right now they don't have a lot of money and not going to see very much, but the gear they have on their ships, sonar gear, is top of the line. It's fucking amazing. It's really good. So big tip of the hat to those knuckleheads. I thank God they're on our side, right? Anyway, what's going on here? I paused the game. I'm sorry. Let's keep blowing this ship up. Stop running my blockade, jerk. What's going on there? Let's see if Donnie's on.
The Air Force in 2021
nope.
Identified Army.
Let's just check out some other sites there. Where's my live at? He's going to go live supposedly at 2:00. I don't think he's going to be on time. He's never made it on time. One thing we know for sure, he will not be online at 2:00. It might be 2:01. It won't be early. Nope. And, oh, what the hell? Why is YouTube using my old thumbnail? YouTube. God bless America. Did I not update the thumbnail? Oh, no. Okay, that's on me. That's on me. I'm sorry. Hold on one second. I'm blaming YouTube. This is an own goal here. Own goal. Okay. You guys can watch the firing action. Uh-oh. Can we move the camera around a little bit? There we go. Hold on. Ugh. There we go. That's our little ship firing. Let's get this fixed. I can't believe I didn't update the thumbnail. Now it's updated. Okay, now we're good. Yeah, so as soon as the president comes on board, we will we'll go to him live. There we go. Thumbnail's updated. That's awesome. Meanwhile, we're going to sink some ships while we wait. Okay, and we'll read some of your comments too. I never read chat. So I'm gonna change my ways starting right now. And I'm gonna read the first comment from Fish. All right, Red, check that off. Did it. I'm just joking. Venezuela with the Russian fleet? Nah, there's no Russian fleet down in the Caribbean right now. There are 3 at-sea nuclear submarines right now out of the Northern Fleet. And then I should update you guys on the Admiral Nakhimov. Admiral Nakhimov, which is a Kirov class battle cruiser, nuclear powered, is still, as far as I know, as of yesterday, still at anchor in the White Sea, a few kilometers off the coast of Severnitsk, which is the shipyard that's been repairing her for the past 25 years. So one thing I found with the sea trials that she's doing, it's very similar to what we in the United States call peer trials and Or they could be doing something called fast cruise, which normally we do pier side. We don't actually go to sea for that because it's dangerous. The purpose of fast cruise is to simulate underway so that if you forgot anything, you figure it out before you actually go to sea. You know, it's kind of a dummy check. Make sure you packed all of your pillows and all the things that you need to go underway, right? All your lotions and your scents. So when you get out of the shower, you smell good like a sonarman. Yeah, that's very important. You got to have all that stuff. So you like do a complete watch rotation. You run fire drills during the watch rotation. So you do the off watch cycle, the on watch cycle. You cycle through some meals. That's called fast cruise. We normally do it tied to the pier because there's no reason to do it at sea. Yeah. What if you get halfway through fast cruise and you're like, man, I forgot that. We need to go to the shop and get that. The towed array, something small, you know. So that's why apparently the Russians are doing sea trials combined with pier trials and fast cruise all at once right now, as of yesterday. So with the Admiral Nakhimov in the White Sea. And the reason why I know this is because we have Maxar satellite imagery, courtesy of MT Anderson. MT Anderson on Twitter. Awesome source. This dude is amazing. Love that guy. I follow him. I do whatever he wants. I do it, man. He tells me what to do. I do it. But he puts out some great stuff, including the photo I'm talking about of the Admiral Nakhimov, courtesy of Maxar satellites. So they're tied. They are... I guess it is tied technically to a buoy, which is anchored to the bottom in an anchorage right outside Severnitsk. And they've been tied there since Friday, since they went to sea. Maybe that was Thursday. It's been about a week though, roughly. And all they're doing is apparently not steaming. There's no indication that they're running their engines at all, other than hotel load to put the lights on. That's running, obviously. But as far as propulsion goes, apparently there's nothing because they've been at anchor the entire time. And how did they get to anchor if they didn't run their engine? They got towed by tugs. The hero of the Russian fleet is the fucking tugboats. Those guys work hard. I think they go to sea more than the ships do. So anyway, so tip of the hat to the Russian tugboat fleet, putting out the Kirov class Admiral Nakhimov to her anchor point. Oh, hey, we got another contestant. Oh, let's bomb this guy. We got airplanes. What kind of airplane is this? This is a Hawk. I don't know what that is. Here we go. Do you have bombs? What's this guy got? What kind of weapons you got? He's got, wait for it. Nope. He's air to air. All right, let's take this boat. This is the John C. Stennis. Oh my gosh, the Stennis. I haven't heard much about the Stennis in a long time. I wonder what she's up to. Let's go to Air Ops and let's launch some planes that got bombs on them. All right. What do you think? What do you say? It's F-18. Do we have any F-35s? Yeah. Oh, the Growlers. Oh, I heard a story about the Growler. We actually got to use the Growler against China recently. Yep. China got a little bit of lessons. Some could argue some intel because we went and fucked her shit up with our Growler ECM mods. Not a lot of details on that. There was I know it had something to do with a helicopter. So our helicopter was tracking their submarine, a Type 039, in the South China Sea. This is all very recent. I don't know the exact dates, but within, say, the past year. I'll say the past year. We have our SH-60 out there overhead, pinging away, tracking the bejesus out of them. A diesel boat can't come up to recharge its batteries because it's got a helicopter right overhead. They would be surfacing right under our helicopter. Helicopter's got plenty of time on station and we can rotate them out. We're just waiting on her to come up for air. That's the situation. What does China do? China sends out a helicopter to try and buzz and be aggressive towards our helicopter without actually shooting at it. And our helicopter, after seeing this behavior from a Chinese helicopter, called the F-18 and said, hey, this guy's messing with us. Show him what's up. And they got on the little jukebox in the back seat and fucked his radar shit up. And it was like, hey, either go home or be blind. That is what's happening right now. I should make videos about this. Yeah. Like all these things should be YouTube videos, but I don't know. I'm busy having fun. We're making sub brief lectures. Oh, and we got the next sub brief script too. We're doing the last North Korean ship brief is coming out this week. I've got the script. I've been going through it this morning. It's pretty good. Typhon, our writer, the guy's incredible. Very good writer. So he does the draft, the first draft, and then I edit it, add stuff to it. I'm adding a little bit to this one because we didn't know much about this North Korean corvette called the Amunk, A-M-N-O-K, Amunk. It's a ballistic missile corvette. I want you to think about that. It's a corvette. It's a little bathtub boat, and they put a goddamn ballistic cruise missile on it. North Korea, crazy. Crazy. I think it's because they can't get their submarine to work. They do have a ballistic missile submarine that never goes to sea, I think because it doesn't work. Anyway, what am I doing here? What's going on? I forgot. Oh, yeah, I was going to sink this blockade runner. Stop running my blockade, jerk. All right. F-18s, right? I want something with bombs. That's what I was saying. Bombs. Give me some bombs. How do you know if it's got bombs on it? All right. You're an F-18. Those are big and they're round. That's probably a bomb. This is my technical analysis. Holy cow, there's a lot of numbers, man. Jesus. Ooh, look at all the numbers. Whoa. Hello. What's going on here? Apparently I clicked the wrong button. This is bad. Okay, we're back. We're back in business, boys. Okay. Look at that. This is Wildcats. All right. You know what? I know one thing's for sure. They got a gun. Let's do that. Let's launch these guys. So we select them. This is the database. Close the database. We don't want the database. I want the ship to go into air operations. And I want you to... Who else is on the ready line? We got a bunch of them ready. Those are all air to air. Oh, I see where it is now. Oh, I'm learning the game, folks. I'm learning the game. This is what you wanted. People have been asking me to play this game for years. I'm like, fine, I'll do it. Oh, we could send the Growler. We could shoot HARM missiles at them. That would be hilarious. I'm like, take that. You and your navigation radar. Milk cow. Oh, it's a tanker. That's just wrong. Don't call them milk cows. What's this one here? I want something. Give me a bomb. None of my shit has bombs in it. Come on, bro. Listen, fine. You know what? Keep your secrets. Let's, what's this? This is probably a ship. Let's pick a different ship. So if a ship's in a formation, how do you pick any ship besides the main one? Oh, no. Oh, I don't know. That's a very good boat operations. Oh. What's this? Boat operations. No, that's not working. Yeah. Anyway, you can click each plane and ready it. Yeah, I understand that. I didn't want to take off weapons before I could just launch a harpoon at this guy and set him on fire, you know. It's a tanker. He doesn't even have point defense. Oh, you know what? Let's take the whole fleet. This will be fucking hilarious. Oh my God. Yeah. Okay. Listen, you didn't want to use my airplanes. Now we're using everybody. Oh, it won't let me. Oh, it's so sad. Oh, I got excited there for a second. Oh man, that was good. All right, fine. I have a Ticonderoga class cruiser. I want to use him. He's baseline 3. Baseline 3 is so old, but he's got lots of guns. I'm going to figure it out. You know what? Auto engage. Everybody shoot this the target. Okay, we'll see if that actually works. I don't know. Okay, let's go. Is he live yet? Come on, folks. Is it 2 o'clock yet? Yeah, it's 2 o'clock. Well, we know he's not going to be on time. We know that much. When you're the president of the United States, you don't have to be on time. That's how that goes. Oh, let me make sure we're live. I'm updating YouTube right now. Make sure we're live. We're definitely live. Okay, cool. All right. What's chat say? Identifies fuel tank as bomb. Legit right now. I know. Subscribe to my analysis channel. Yeah. It's good stuff. Okay. How's the war going on over here? The LCS has been beating the hell out of this tanker for the last hour, and still can't sink it because LCS ain't got no punch. LCS goes very fast. It's a jet ski, man. It's a fun ship. If you go on it, if you get assigned to an LCS, have a blast. Enjoy it. Bring a margarita. Well, ask the captain first, and the Cobb probably too. The Cobb probably wants a margarita. You're going to go fast. You're not going to do shit when you get there, but it's going to be a fun ride. It's a jet ski. That's all it is. All right. What's this here? This is an Ohio-class submarine. Holy shit. Why do we have a strategic nuclear ballistic missile submarine blockading Venezuela? This is hilarious. Oh, my God. This is Pete Hegseth right here. This is his fault. He did this. He did this to us. You know what? You know what's good for a blockade? D5 ballistic missiles. Oh my God, this is so good. What kind of weapons do we have? Gimme. All right, we got torpedoes. Yeah, boring. What else we got? Oh, this is the SSGN. Okay, this is starting to make a little more sense. Yeah. Okay, listen, let's bring you to launch depth. That's right, girl. How do you change depth on one of these things? Again, I'm learning the game, folks. You did this. You guys would not leave me alone. You're like, learn how to play this game and play it. Okay. And here I am. What's our depth? 66 feet. That's a little too specific. Holy shit. This game is very accurate. Holy cow. It gets things right that it should not. Yeah. You know what? You know what this looks like to me? That is a target. You see how it's red? That's how I know. So we're going to shoot that thing. Let's do this. Let's go attack. Oh, manual. Let's do a manual attack. Uh-oh. Crap, how am I going to do this? Right there? That should bring up a window, right? Oh, no. Why can't I do a manual attack? All right. All right, let's try doing auto attack. That way I don't have to think very hard. There we go. That works. All right. SSGN should start shooting out. It's got dry dock shelter too, which means we got the boys on board. Yeah. Bad hombres. Oh, here we go. Let's do it. I'm gonna try the manual attack one more time because I do have to learn how to do this. I'm goofing off too much. There, this is the menu I was talking about. Yeah, right here. This is what I need. This is what I'm looking for. Okay, so what do we want to shoot this blockade runner with? I'm gonna start calling blockade runner so it doesn't sound so bad because we are basically shooting tankers. What we gonna shoot them with? A Bushmaster. We have to get up close to them with that. It's like hitting them with your sword. Yeah, which is fun to do in the shower. But that's for special occasions. I can't do that today. What's this? 40 millimeter weapons tight? No, they're not. Let's go. They're very free. Mark 64. I don't know what all these numbers mean. There's a lot of numbers going on here. 127. That's how big it is. I know that. Where's my missiles at? There they are. Okay, they're at the bottom. Okay, I don't know why. The Mark 245. That's a flare. Okay. The CNAT, that's chaff. Nixie, Bushmaster, the Phalanx, the high explosive Mafon. Oh, that's the 5-inch gun. 127 millimeter. I think that's 5 inches. What the hell? Hold on. Does he not have a single harpoon? Am I just miss? I got to be just missing it. Of course he has harpoons. We got guns. Am I in the guns menu? Is that what this is? Where's my missiles at? Technology. All right, fine. You know what? You know what works in this case? Auto attack. That's right. Smash that F1 button. Boom. And the subscribe button. And we're going to shoot him with our stuff. So far, the most successful attack is being performed by the LCS. You should all be embarrassed by that. Little speedboat down there is doing all the work. Oh, crap. We're paused. That's why nothing's happening. I got to learn to check the pause button a little more often. All right. I'm like, why is nothing happening? I'm telling them to launch. Apparently you can pause this game, by the way. Kind of crazy. There isn't a search menu. Oh, there probably is. I just don't, like I said, I'm still learning the menu system here, the interface. It's not as complicated as it looks. It looks kind of cool, to be honest with you, because this is kind of what your situation display, I think they call it the fusion plot. That's what we called it on the submarine back in the day. Looks like this. It's very kind of thematic. It's very good. All right. White House. Come on, brothers. Says they're not live yet. Let's refresh the website. Nope. Yeah, so what we're going to do, folks, besides me screwing around learning this video game, is we are going to listen to the president's brief on what I think is the official designation of Department of Defense to Department of War. That's my guess. I'm not the only one who thinks that. Most people do. All we know from the White House is that it is a Department of Defense announcement. So that could mean a lot of things, but we are expecting an official change of the Department of Defense to Department of War. And no one's asked me my opinion, but I'll give it to you. I don't mind it. I think Department of War is a little more accurate. Yeah, so I'm okay with it. I ain't got no problem with it. All right, so we're attacking this airport now. Let's see if you can see this. Oh. This little submarine here. Can you guys see that? Yeah, there's a little sub right there. You should see a little missile coming out of it here in a second. I didn't pause it again, did I? No. Good. All right. Well, it's launching. I don't see it launching over here. It should be launching over there. Let's grab one of these guys. Oh, the 3D menu doesn't select weapons. Okay, cool. The more you know. So one thing I do like is that they give you the wake visibility of every contact. That's really good. Oh, hey, there, and we're shooting harpoons now. We have a pair of harpoons going in on this commercial dry bulk carrier. Small handy size, it says. I don't know why it says that, but it says small handy size right there. All right. All right, let's catch up on chat. I promised I would read more chat today because we're not doing anything too serious. We're kind of just goofing off. I did all my work this morning. I deserve a little bit of a break, right? And tomorrow's a day off. Tomorrow we're doing Sea Power. Yeah, we'll be up here for a couple hours tomorrow, just having fun. Yep. And then it's back to the grind. I'm going to have the North Korean ship brief, the Corvette we're working on, up on Thursday. I've already got the artwork done for it. I'm just adding a few details to the lecture. Between now and Thursday, I'll record and post on Thursday. Yep. So if you're YouTube members, you're going to get that. And if you're a Patreon, you're going to get the same thing. You don't need to be both. Some people are. I appreciate that. You don't need to be. There's actually more content on the Patreon than there is on YouTube. But you still get the same videos though. That part's identical. But I throw extra photos and stuff up on Patreon. And if you're not on the Discord, our little voice chat or text chat channel, that place is getting better. We've made some improvements lately. Got rid of some knuckleheads. And so it's a kinder, gentler Discord now. So yeah, we keep launching. Is this guy on fire yet? One thing the Harpoon missile's very good at is setting ships on fire and letting the fire do the work. That's kind of the point of that missile. So here's the big picture. I'll zoom out. Don't mind all the yellow lines. No one knows what that means. Mostly me. No, I'm joking. Okay. So these are like areas of unknown. Like this is a radar bearing basically. So we know that there's something in this direction. And we're detecting it. So it's somewhere along that yellow line. Yep. From there to there. I could probably declutter the display, but I'm still kind of learning how to even give commands. Now, Venezuela does have a navy. They actually have two ships they bought from Iran. Very small, kind coastal patrol vessels. I wouldn't even call them corvettes. They're extremely tiny, but they do have anti-ship missiles bolted onto the back. It's either 2 or 4. It's 2 launchers. I just don't know if there's, off the top of my head, if there's 2 missiles in each launcher or just 1. So they have a maximum, if it's 4, and they have 2 of them, 8 anti-ship missiles. So all we got to do basically is keep our radars cooking. And if they do come out of port and attack us, we'll definitely take them out. And I said this last week when we were playing Sea Power, but it bears repeating. Venezuela, back in the 1980s, bought 2 Type 209 1300 series diesel boats. Those boats are now 50 years old, 40 going on 50, and they're still in the active ships registry. I don't think for a moment in reality they'll go to sea. Yeah, I don't think they're seaworthy at all. But because they're on the ship's registry, you have to kind of prepare for that. You have to kind of expect that, hey, you might run into a submarine out here, which is why we have all of our sonars on. And you can see the line of ships we have here along the red area. The red area is the embargo line. We're like, no ships in or out of this red zone. Which is why we're kindly and gently nudging this contact to the east a little bit so that he doesn't violate our blockade. We're just letting him know. That's all that is. And then down here, this guy, this LCS is doing everything he can to try and keep that guy from violating our little rules that we set up for the world. And if he doesn't want to follow him, that's fine, but he's going to find out why he should. Let's go ahead and slow down the ship a little bit. Let's just right click on it. This is a little LCS, a little freedom class. And we're going to go to throttle, and let's go to ahead 1/3. Oh, it has creep, cruise, and full. Well, that's not very accurate. For all the things this game gets right, it doesn't get 1/3, 2/3 full, standard, flank. It does get flank. Flank and all stop are correct. The rest of these are baloney. All right, 5 knots, slow down, and keep firing until he turns around. We do have this, I don't know why. What is here? We have a lot of radars on this island. Wilmstead. So somebody should look up on Google Maps what this island is. I have no idea. But we got some PAC-2s on there. Yeah. Oh, yeah. This is Air Defense Island, what this is. Okay, cool. Space Force. SA-3. Oh, Patriot PAC-2. Okay. Got it. Yeah. So it's just a bunch of Patriots on that island. Love it. Sea Fox. This should be an ROV. It is. This is a unmanned submersible vehicle. Here's S-802 Walrus. Oh, that's a Norwegian sub. No, oh boy, I'm in trouble now. Netherlands. I meant to say Netherlands. I apologize to everybody on both sides of that comment. Holy smokes. I almost pissed off everybody in that little nation, which, honestly. They do have a good F1 driver, though. Max Verstappen. He's pretty fast. He's not winning this year, though. I don't know what changed. Something changed. I think it's the car, because he's pretty good. If you follow F1, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't follow F1, you have no idea what I'm talking about. So I ask you guys, how long should we wait for the president? I mean, do we wait 1 hour? Do we wait 2 hours? How long? Ignore the noise. Good Lord. Okay. YouTube is slow. YouTube must be getting hammered right now. I'm just making sure that we're not missing something. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's good to see you too, Amp. The island is Netherlands. Oh, that's right. Okay, cool. I forget that they still have little, I guess, colonies over here. I don't know if that's the proper term to use anymore. Territories, that's what we use. That's what the United States uses. We call them territories now. We're not colonialists. We're not conquerors. You know what I'm saying? How much oil you got? Puerto Rico ain't got no oil. Why we got Puerto Rico? I don't know. Maybe they do and I don't know it. Yeah. Maybe they do have oil. All right. Check this out. You see this boat over here? It's red. That means it's dead. Shoot it. Oh. We got a bogey. We got a bogey coming. Okay. So I want to shoot the bogey. Oh, not with that. That's not going to happen. How do you shoot the bogey? Bam. Shoot this guy. Pow, pow. Oh, he's red now. See, when you shoot him, they turn red. That's how. Oh, and he went away. That was fast. This is an easy game. Okay, just click it and they go away. All right, what's this? This is another Arleigh Burke. Oh, man, we got all the Burkes out today. Burke is such a good boat. That was our last ship brief for YouTube. We did the Arleigh Burke series. I planned on doing 45 minutes on the Burke. I ended up doing over an hour. It was like an hour and 5 minutes or something. Breaking down the Burkes. Just a fun. I just rant on the Arleigh Burkes for like an hour. That's all it was. And if you guys want to like learn all the specifics, you just read the slides. I'm not going to read the slides to you. That's boring as hell. You guys can read. I think most people can. Well, maybe not. I've been hearing some bad things about schooling lately, about how it's not gotten any better since I went, and it was bad when I was there. Let me tell you what, I learned much. Yeah, I'm a graduate of Central Florida Public School. We didn't have any money. Oh, look at this guy. He's on fire and flooding. Now that's very inefficient. He should be choosing one or the other. Like, come on, man. So good job, LCS. If LCS gets first kill of the game, I'm gonna, give him a medal, and then everyone else is getting punished. Everyone else is coming in on Saturday to learn how to fight, because that's embarrassing. Let the LCS get the first kill. LCS didn't even have any weapons. Barely. It's got a gun and a mean disposition like a small dog. Yeah, I don't know. I told him to shoot this airplane. The airplane just went away. I didn't even see the missile come out, so I think the airplane might still be there. I think it's just off of our radar. There's a whole line of Tomahawks right here. You see this? This is the power of the SSGN. You could argue that the Ticonderoga and to some extent the Arleigh Burke can do the same thing, but can they do it from 66 feet? No. Yeah, nope. That's still not true. Yeah, I was thinking maybe they could do that once, but nope, not even then. Yeah, so this whole line of Tomahawks is going to take this little airport off the map, right next to Barcelona. I don't know why we have Barcelona in South America. Isn't Barcelona like in Italy or something? I don't know. I'm not a geography major. I'll tell you where America is. That's all you know. I'm going to get a lot of comments. See, what I'm doing is I'm encouraging interaction with the chat to correct me on my geography. They're like, it's Spain, you dummy. Oh, there it is. See? Alonzo, thank you. Thank you for correcting me. You're absolutely right. It is Spain. Yep. The education system strikes again. Yeah. Oh, my God. Alonzo's a longtime viewer. He knows I'm messing around. Yeah. It's all the knuckleheads on Twitter that don't know me yet. They're like, this guy's an idiot. Yeah. Can't argue with you. Not non-complete sentences anyway. Hey, we got the Seawolf. She's out of dry dock. Oh yeah, I got an update on the Seawolf too. No details, but now they're saying that the earliest the USS Connecticut is going to be out of dry dock for her hull repairs that she's been in for like 4 or 5 years now. It's been 4 years. The end. So I'm thinking December, the very end of 2026. Yeah. She hit the damn Earth so hard that crunched her hull so much that she's been in, if she stays on schedule, which we all know how that goes, she will have been in dry dock or in a repair period. Let's not necessarily in the dry dock for 5 years, but she's still in dry dock right now. So up there in Washington State, I think it's Everett. I think that's the name of the town that the dry dock facility's at. There's another, the whole base up there is kind of spread out. So it could be at the other place too. Yeah, they hit the ground hard, man. I don't know if they were doing a flank bell, but even, it doesn't matter how, imagine being in a car wreck without a seatbelt and everything around you is metal and not very far away because it's a submarine. And they hit the ground in the South China Sea so hard that they physically damaged the hull. Like I don't want to say it collapsed, obviously it didn't, but they compromised the integrity of the hull. So they had to do a lot of work to it. And then they have to do a lot of testing, obviously, make sure it's safe. And then she's going to go out. So hopefully she's out for sea trials and hull testing at the end of 2026. I honestly did not expect them to, I thought they were going to retire the boat. That's how much damage she had. but she is a very special boat. She has some one-of-a-kind systems on board that we're not going to go into. So you can't really replace her. You just have to build another one. And they're not building another Seawolf. No. They would have like built a modified Virginia, called it Block 8 or something crazy. But they didn't go that route at all. They repaired her. They're like, let's take 5 years, 6 years, however long it takes, and figure it out. And I'm okay with that now that it's been 5 years. We've already spent the time, so it's okay now. As long as it's safe. My concern now is for the crew. I want them to not drown. I don't want there to be any leaks on this thing. But I know that you can repair a hull. Well, I was on 2 submarines that went into dry dock for extended periods of time, and they cut some big ass hull cuts, big holes that you could drive a forklift into to get stuff in and out of the submarine inside the dry dock. That's how big the hull cut was. And I'm walking in there because I'm on watch and I'm logging everything, make sure everything's okay, and looking around thinking, man, we're taking this thing underway soon. They're going to put the piece that they cut out back in and then weld it. I did not want to be in that compartment whenever we did our deep dive, was what I was thinking. I was like, I'm going to be on the other side of the submarine. Because if this whole thing collapses, that's a lot of water. Well, yeah, that'd be over. Yeah. Try not to think about that part. But my point is that we're very good at repairing hulls and hull cuts and making them just as strong, if not stronger. I think a weld is like technically stronger than the original metal, but I don't want to put any money on that, Let's just say that it works. Let's just leave it there, right? Oh man, this guy, he is on fire. He is listing. He's got half health. He's definitely not running our blockade, so that's what matters. Good job, LCS. You still haven't got the kill yet, so you're not getting any medals. Oh, look at these 2 chuckleheads, thinking that they can just fly around. Can't just fly around. Okay, let's attack you with our ECM. So we've got a growler up in the air. That's this special version of the F-18 that plays music. And we're going to play music in the direction of them, I think. Would that be under a weapon, the ECM? It is. It's right there. So I want to... How do you use it? How do you turn it on? I don't know. It's fine. Let's just shoot him down. What's this guy here? You. Attack. Engage. Chuckle face. There we go. Oh, look at him. He's going. Yeah. Go get some. That's Tom Cruise. Go get him, Tom. Instant death, slow death. If there was flooding on a submarine, it would probably be pretty quick. I mean, obviously it would depend. If it's just a seal leaking, then obviously not. But oh, hey, what's going on? Why is Tom Cruise not going to close the contact? Hold on a second. Oh, these guys are F-35s. They're going probably really fast. What's the speed here? I don't see the speed. I see the altitude. We should have all sorts of information on this guy. Oh, it's right there. It's 900 knots. I'm going to mark him as hostile too because they're in formation. Now, I'm going to tell him to attack again. See what he does. These guys are getting close to our SAM site. I wonder if our SAM sites can do an attack. We got these Pac 2s over here. What the hell? Oh, I mean these are Netherlands. I may not be able to control these. Yeah. Interesting. What is this? F-16s? Okay, yeah. It looks like I don't have all the controls on those planes. Okay. That's fine, I guess. I'll let them manage themselves. Anyway, so this game is called Command Modern Operations. It's a very detailed modern warfare simulator. I don't really stream this one very often because I don't know how to play it. Like, I don't know all the interface options. We're kind of figuring that out right now. But I did install a software called TacView, which is this 3D view up here, which shows us a little bit of a 3D model of the world. And I thought, well, if you have this might make it easier for me and you to understand what's going on if you don't understand what this map is. This map is I don't know. In my submarine world, we called it the fusion plot. I imagine the surface guys probably have a different name for it. So I'm not going to tell you that that's the name. That's just what I call it. And it just has all the contacts from all the sensors all on one display. That's why it's called fusion. Oh, here we go. Now this DDG might be able to shoot down those planes. I don't know why Tom Cruise won't do it. We'll see if this guy will do it. Hey, if you guys see the White House go live in chat, let me know. Yeah. Let's see. Gordon's here. I recognize that name, Gordon Greaseman. Yeah, he says there have been several subs that have hit the floor at speed. One was made very public. The other's not so much. Yeah, the fact that she survived that collision is a testament to the construction of our submarines, because that was a very high energy impact. My understanding that some crew members were injured. I don't think anyone died. I don't remember if anyone did. I know when the San Francisco hit, we did lose a crew member. I didn't know him personally, but still, you know, tragedy. Because that stuff comes out of nowhere. Like if you're in a car wreck, as bad as that is, you know, with a seatbelt on and all that, there's a likelihood that you're going to see something happening right before you go and take the hit, right? It's rare that it's out of the blue, even though that does happen. Well, in a submarine, you have no warning, so you're not ready for it. So all this energy suddenly hits you, and you're flying through the air and bouncing off things. Yeah, it's crazy. All right, so we got some SAM launches. These guys are launching SAMs at our Tomahawks because Tomahawks are slow and not stealthy at all. And they fly low to the ground, but when you're over water, that doesn't really matter because there's no cover. So obviously the radars are hitting it. So what I'd like to know is, where are the radars? Where are the missile launches going to be from? Because this is probably a ship with a radar, I would expect. Barcelona definitely has a radar. It's an airbase, right? So yeah, great plan. That's true, Fish. Yeah, I never read chat. I'll read chat whenever the live event's over, and I'll be like, oh, we missed it. So I will say this. I do enjoy this game, but it's very cerebral. It's like a lot of the action that you see is playing out in your head. So, and even with the 3D view here, it helps. But this is not as visceral as watching other live streams. Okay, let me jump to this location. So this is where the SAMs are being launched from, apparently. Oh, wow, that's interesting. That's some long range. Oh, this is the S300, isn't it? Oh, I know. Venezuela does have an S300. They also have some old TPS radars as well from like the 80s, which are American radars. But the SAMs would definitely be S300. I'm trying to get a classification on them. Will it tell me? Okay, right now it's just telling me it's a SAM. I'm pretty certain it's a S300. It doesn't really matter if it's not. I just like I like to confirm whether I'm right or not. Whoa, look at that. What's going on there? Okay, they got my attention. Yeah, and it's single hull, Amp. All of our subs are single hull. There's a little bit of an exception on the Ohio because we have like a turtleback over the single hull, but that's all free flood, so it doesn't really count as a double hull. Oh, I should hit close and resume. Okay. Every time that window pops up, it pauses the game. So yeah, bear with me for learning a video game live on stream. That's not the way to do it. I just thought this might be fun to watch while we wait on the president to do something. Let's check this. I'm just going to keep updating until he's there. I checked the schedule. It did say 2 o'clock. And I'll show you guys how to check the president's schedule because they publish it. I don't know if it's daily or not, but let me pull it up here. It's called Roll Call. That's what it's called. All right, so this is a public website that everybody can go to. You don't need to be special press or nothing. It's called Roll Call. And can you guys see that? Yeah. There we go. and it's got his daily schedule. Oh, yeah. So for all these knuckleheads on the internet going, I think the president's dead, you're an idiot. All you got to do is look at his schedule and you can tell that he's been golfing for 3 days. Calm down, idiots. I didn't even want to address that, but there it is. And then today at 2 p.m., president's going to make an announcement concerning the Department of Defense. That's how I know. It says it right there from the Oval Office. For the press pool, going to be broadcast live. Anyway. So that should put a few things to rest. I really try very hard not to go on Twitter and insult people, but there's so many idiots. It's hard. It's so hard. So, yeah, I tend to leave it alone. Oh, this is cool. The F-35s are trying to engage our Tomahawks. That's actually... it's probably going to happen. Oh, here we go. Statement from the President of the United States. This is not the statement I was waiting on, but we're going to read this one anyway. Venezuelan government has destroyed or severely damaged a ship. Huh. I didn't see that happen. Okay, I wonder which one it was. Launch a missile attack against airports. Hey, guess what? Right on time. Already happening, sir. That says... launch a missile attack against airports and military aircraft in flight. Ships, military units may be a danger to our forces. Use all means necessary. Yes, that means nuclear weapons are authorized. Let's do it. Unpause. Remember to unpause it. All right, who's got the nukes? Probably on the aircraft carrier. Let's go to Air Ops. Let's bolt these bad boys on the F-18. Which one are you? Okay, the Super Hornet. You know what would be super? Tactical nuclear weapons. Let's do it. I want to see it. So it's sensors, it's mounts. How do you I want to change the loadout of one plane. All right, this guy's ready. We're going to make him not ready. Oh, here it is. All right. What is how do you say tactical nuke in abbreviation speak? Is it an ADM or an AGM? I don't know. We're going to find it. And we're going to nuke this little silly country. Back to the Stone Age, bitches. They're halfway there. It's a short trip. Okay, GBU. That's probably what it is. Probably one of the GBUs. You would think there would be an N involved at some point. Like a GBU N? There's nuclear Tomahawks. Yeah, we could maybe do that. The problem is they have to put the nuke in the Tomahawk before you put Tomahawk on the ship. Now, back when I was in the Navy, we kept nukes on the carriers, but is that not a thing anymore? It's a kinder, gentler Navy now. We don't do the nukes as much as we used to. Snake Eyes. That's a cool name for a bomb. He's like, I'm looking at you. Boom. What's an LDGB? It's not nuclear. Damn it. 2,000-pound bombs called Quick Strike. Okay. Oh, I know what that is. That's the new one. They got that in the game. This game is awesome. That's a new weapon. Oh, wow. I'm kind of impressed with how good this game is. Like, it's really detailed. Holy smokes. This is good. Sorry, I'm fanboying over the encyclopedia, which is probably the most nerd thing ever, but this is good. Yeah. We used to have to memorize this crap, by the way. Yeah, we used to have to know this stuff by not the bomb stuff, but like if it was on the submarine, we'd have to know it. Oh, that's the F-154 Charlie. That's the long range, air-to-air weapon, right? It's basically the SM-6, but on an F-18. What's a JSOW? That sounds like a very big J. Yeah, that's what that is. I should write. Oh, we should do like an April Fool's lecture where I get all these wrong. That would be fucking hilarious. Okay, that's an idea. I'm going to write that down. All right, maybe not. My pen's way over there. We should definitely do an April Fool's video. Okay, apparently there's no nukes in this scenario. That makes me sad. AGM-86 is nuclear cruise missile. Okay. Somebody said that in chat. Let's just double check. Let's go back to the F-18. Can the F-18 shoot it? I think that's my only choice. I've got F-18s and I got helicopters. I don't have the F-35 for some reason. Yeah. Okay. All right. So let's pick him. And you said AGM-86. Can I do a search by name? I don't know. Oh, I can. Right there. Look at this. Yes. Ooh, it made a sound. Nope. Okay. Fine. Keep your secrets. AGM. Well, at least the AGMs are at the top, and we're at 84, so we're very close. It goes from 84 to 88. Ah. Sadness. Okay. No nukes confirmed. Fine, we're going to do it the old-fashioned way. Conventionally. Oh, yeah, let's unpause the game. I'm sorry. I didn't realize it was paused the whole time. I'm going to have to really get better at that if we're going to stream this. Or else the stream will just last forever. We'll be like, why is nothing happening? He's like, he won't unpause the game. Oh, my gosh. A gravity bomb is a B-61. Yeah, I don't know if I don't want to fly my F-18s with a nuclear bomb on board anywhere near this country. Because knowing my luck, it'll get shot down. They'll grab that bomb and be like, throw it back at them, you know? I don't know if nukes work that way. They probably don't, but still, I don't want to take the chance. All right, can we watch this place getting blowed up? I want to move the camera over there. Why are we paused again? Stop pausing. All right. I'm trying to select the dumb airport. Airport? Okay, I can select this SA3 site. This SA3 site should be shooting down all these Tomahawks. Oh, there they are. The Tomahawks have already gone by the SA3 site. You failed us. Or you failed Venezuela. All right, so that airport's definitely going away. Let's see what other fun bits we have in this scenario. I can just browse database at the moment. Yeah, I'll browse it again. Don't you worry, guys. I will. We have another ship over here that I want to use. This one is the... Oh, here we go. Close and resume, so it's not paused. This is the Zumwalt. This is a guided missile destroyer. Even though it's the size of a building, it's huge. A big building, I should say. Yeah. We call it a destroyer. This thing is definitely, in my opinion, a cruiser. I don't know why the Navy got its panties in a wad about naming things in general, but for some reason, everything's either a frigate or a destroyer now. Nothing, or an aircraft carrier, I guess. There's absolutely no more cruisers because those sound expensive when you try to sell it to Congress to fund it. That's what I think is behind that decision, which is really stupid, which is why it's probably true. Hey, there's a boat. Shoot it with the Zumwalt. All right, Zumwalt's going to turn around and shoot the boat, and we're going to watch it. It'll be fun. Now, I'm not saying this boat was like breaking the blockade or anything, but he is at sea, and so am I. And if I can detect him, he's probably a blockade runner. So we're going to go ahead and sink him. We're just following the rules of engagement. You know, we're just doing what we're told. Are we paused again? No. The game's running. You see the little numbers here at the top moving, the pulse time? Yeah. I have no idea what that means, other than that the game is obviously running because it's changing. That's all that's telling me. Oh, check this out. It tells me my video card. I have an RTX 4080 Super. If you're on a budget, this is a really good card. It's not as expensive as the 4090 and has pretty good performance. Pretty good. All right. I wonder how long the president's going to keep us waiting. I swore after I waited 2 hours for a press conference. He's live. He's live. Okay. Well, sort of. There's caveats. Here he is. Where are we going to put him? Like right there, maybe? Let's give him a little thumbs up. There we go. Okay. He's got a thumbs up now. Good job, Mr. President. Now, if he wants to keep the thumbs up I gave him, he's got to say nice things. All right. I just wanted to see what kind of... you guys can still see the... Oh, crap. Well, that's not going to work. Okay. Hello. There he is. He's back. Yeah, let's move him. I'm going to have to move him off of the screen here. Okay, let's try this side. Trying to grab the border, but it's being a pain in the butt. There it goes. All right, I'll just move him up here. We are going to switch to that for real, not even joking, whenever he actually gets on the camera. Let me make sure it's still live. Make sure I didn't pause that. Hey, second wave is coming up. Second wave of Tomahawks. Look at these two S-35s, man. They're like flying low and slow, using guns, trying to shoot down our Tomahawks. Yeah. Right here, look at this. Look at these two chuckleheads. Good job defending Venezuela. Now, hold on a second. Venezuela does not have Su-35s. So this game's kind of, well, this scenario is unique. What does Venezuela have? They probably have F-16s. From like the 1980s, not the new ones. Because we used to be on good terms with Venezuela. Well, better than now. I wouldn't call them good. We sold them equipment. I know that. We sold them radars. They have at least 2 radars. And they were buying submarines from Germany. You see the little explosions in the distance right there? Yeah. That's Tomahawks doing work. That's your tax dollars right there. Yeah. Listen, all of us together, all of our taxes do not even pay for one Tomahawk missile. So appreciate what you're witnessing, okay? We cannot afford what we're doing. Yeah. The target costs less than the Tomahawk. Yeah. Listening to Fanboy over a game is like watching Dr. Strangelove again. Yeah, I know. Oh, yeah. That's a great movie. Peter Sellers in that movie is so funny. Oh, I really like him as the guest officer, the British officer that's working at the American Air Base at the very beginning of the movie. Oh my God. What do you call them? They're not transfer officers. But they're like temporarily assigned to an American command, to kind of get used to how we do things. And it goes off the rails. It's hilarious. Oh, wow. They launched a lot of things at us. Oh no, that's our missiles there. Never mind. We launched a lot of things at them. I thought something had changed. For some reason, our missiles are now red. Oh, that's the aircraft hangars. Well, we beat the hell out of one aircraft hangar. That one's gone. But there's still like 10 more. Okay. Yeah, this is a great game. Let's see. It's published by Matrix Games. Slytherin, I think. Oh, yeah. Well, which is it? Is it Slytherin or Matrix? Are those two the same company? I don't know. I know Slytherin's involved. I hate to give credit to the wrong company, but I remember this being on both their websites. Huh. Yeah, that's kind of weird, isn't it? All right, so second wave of Tomahawks coming. So the way the Tomahawks packages work is, well, it's probably not like this anymore, but back in the day, they would get them from radio in like a radio message, and you would have to transcribe them, and this is all done in the computers, from radio to a magnetic fucking tape in the fire control area. Well, we shared an area, sonar. It was half sonar, half fire control. It was actually mostly sonar, fire control. And those poor guys, they're like, if the tape didn't load the package data all the way beginning to end, you couldn't go in and edit it. You had to well, I suppose you could, but usually you had to go back to the beginning and reload the whole tape again.
Announcement with great friends of mine. I think I can.
Oh, hey, here we go. Enough of my jibber jabber.
Every one of them, I rated 10. I can't.
All my friends I rated 10. He
even if
says
they're Republicans, and these are Republicans, great Republicans. I want to thank you all for being here.
That's lousy
this
goes.
Important
Sorry.
announcement. 7 years in the making. As you know, this has been going on for a long period of time.
7 years in the making.
And I am thrilled to report that the U.S. Space Command headquarters will move to the beautiful locale of a place called Huntsville, Alabama, forever to be known from this point forward as Rocket City. Okay,
Rocket
so
City.
Huntsville, Alabama, we
Renaming
love Alabama.
cities just like the Soviets.
They
Yeah.
only won it by about 47 points. I don't think that influenced my decision, though, right? That didn't, right? But we had a lot of competition for this, and Alabama's getting it. Huntsville in particular. So congratulations, everybody. Katie, congratulations. This will result in more than 30,000 Alabama jobs, and probably much more than that, and hundreds of millions of dollars of investment, and that's billions because it can't be millions.
Congratulations,
It's
Huntsville,
billions
for all
and
the
billions
money
of
you're about to
dollars.
get.
Most importantly, this decision will help America defend and dominate the high frontier, as they call it. I want to thank Secretary Pete Hegseth. He's doing a fantastic job. And Secretary of the Air Force Troy Mink. Troy, thank you very much. Great job you're doing, Troy. This is such a big deal. This is one that everybody wanted to know. What are you doing? I also want to thank Senators Katie Britt, and I want to.
People are always saying how big my deal is.
Condolences. Your grandmother, her grandmother just passed away. She was 100, right?
100, and she loves you, Mr. President.
Well, and she was very proud of you.
Yeah.
Very, very proud of
Be
you.
nice
So
now.
thank you, Katie.
Wonderful woman.
Fine people of Huntsville,
Must have
Alabama.
been. To produce you indirectly, I can tell you she had to be. Tommy Tuberville, who's a great coach, and I won't say
Sometimes old
anything about
people
what
say
happened with
inappropriate things,
Alabama
they don't
football
realize
this
it.
weekend,
Let's leave that up.
but you're not
She's
used
kind
to
of
that,
rolling with it,
right?
though. I
You're
like
not
her.
used
I don't
to
know who
that.
she is. I like her.
But Tommy, Auburn won, that's right. They did. So you're happy. Tommy's
no
been
idea
a
what he
great
said.
senator, and fantastic guy all around. He was also a tremendous coach. House Armed Services Committee Chair Mike Rogers. Thank you, Mike.
Oh, Mike Rogers. Yeah.
Mike, thank you very much. Doing great, Mike.
He's a big part of
Representatives
funding
Barry
everything.
Moore, all great friends, Robert Adderholt,
military.
Gary Palmer, and Dale Strong. Thank you all very much, fellas. Appreciate it. In my first term, I created a thing called Space Force. So important. You know, we were losing the race in space very badly to China and to Russia, and now we're far and away number one in space, and reestablished Space Com with a mission to protect American space assets and detect any threat to our homeland. We initially selected Huntsville for the Spacecom headquarters, yet those plans were wrongfully obstructed by the Biden administration. And as you know, they moved them to a different locale. And today we're moving forward with what we want to do and the place that we want to have this. And this will be there for hopefully hundreds of years. That's where it's going to be. I will say I want to thank Colorado. The problem I have with Colorado, one of the big problems, they do mail-in voting. They went to all mail-in voting. So they have automatically crooked elections. And we can't have that.
Boy, here we go.
A state is for mail-in voting, that means they want dishonest elections because that's what that means. So that played a big factor also.
Somebody hit him in the back
Huntsville
of the head.
Space Com will play a key role in building the Golden Dome, as you know. That's going to be a big thing.
Golden
Everybody
Dome,
wants to
baby.
be a participant in it. Missile Defense Shield, we're going to be having a Golden Dome that the likes of which
Look at
nobody's
Pete
ever
Hegseth
seen
right
before.
now.
The finest, the best. And by the way, Canada
does not look
called. They want to
comfortable
be a
at all.
part of it, and that'll be great. But Canada wants very much to be included in that, and we're going to work something out with them, I hope. It will
Vance is
also
just
ensure
confused.
that our technological capabilities, of which we're way ahead of anybody else, there's nobody close, remain unmatched long into the future. So I'd like to ask Secretary Hegseth to say a few words. He was very much a part of it. And really, everybody behind me was. Every one of these people would call me and lobby me. I said, Katie, I don't want to talk to you anymore. I know what you want. She said, that's right, sir. That's what I want.
Is she the
And
governor
they got
of
their way.
Alabama?
So I just want to
Is that who she
congratulate.
is?
These are really special people. They're politicians in many ways, but they're great patriots, I think even more so than politicians. So they fought very hard to get it, and it's an honor to
Mike
give it
Rogers
to
is always
Huntsville.
hidden.
Pete, say a few words, please.
Oh, here's Pete.
Thank you, Mr. President. As usual, right place, right time, for the right reason. In your first administration, you established the Space Force at a time when we knew we had to be looking to that domain of space. You also reestablished SpaceCom to ensure that priority was put in place, and you, through the Air Force, independently identified that Huntsville, Alabama was the right place to put it. For other reasons, in the next administration under Biden, they decided to move it somewhere else. Well, during that time, the DoD Inspector General, the Government Affairs Office, they did their own assessments, and where did they say SpaceCom should go? Huntsville, Alabama. So what you're doing today, Mr. President, is restoring it to precisely where it should be based on what the Space Force,
doesn't Huntsville,
the
Alabama
Air
have
Force,
like a big
your leadership
NASA
believes will
project
give
there?
us strategic advantage in the future. That is Huntsville, Alabama. We are way ahead in space, but this will ensure we stay leaps and bounds ahead, because that's the most important domain. Whoever controls the
Space is
skies
up here.
will control the future of warfare. And
to
Mr.
Pete,
President,
right
today
here.
you're ensuring that happens. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Katie,
Trump's
would you
like, all
to
right,
say something?
off the mic. That's enough.
Mr. President, we are grateful for your leadership on this
Who
and
are
restoring
you,
Space
lady? Say
Command
your
to its
name.
rightful home in Huntsville, Alabama. This delegation has worked together, both chambers, both parties, to make sure that Huntsville was the place that Space Command called home. As was mentioned, obviously the Biden administration chose to make this political. What we want to do is put the safety and security of Americans first. We want to make sure that our warfighter is put first, and we want to make sure that America continues to lead. And today, Mr. President, you've allowed that to happen. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Tommy, please.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Mr. President. This is a great day for our country, not just for our state of Alabama. We need help in our military.
He
We
blanked
need
out.
to catch up. And as Secretary has said, we're not behind in space, but we know where we're at, and we need to expound on that. Now, this move will save the taxpayers $480 million. It's
How
not going to
expensive is
cost
it gonna
more.
be?
It's going to cut $480 million. We have the plans intact. It'll be behind a secure wall in Huntsville, Alabama, at Redstone Arsenal. We have 40,000 people there. We have the FBI there. We have missile defense there. We have NASA, Blue Origin, and SpaceX. It is the perfect place for Space Command. I would tell you today,
That's a
and I've
juicy-ass
spoke with the
target.
president for the last 3 or 4 years about this. If I thought it needed to go somewhere else because I understand the security of our country, I'd be for that. But the best place for Space Command is Huntsville, Alabama, because what we have and what it means to this country is going to be so important. So thank you, Mr. President, for this, and we look forward to building a huge Space Command and having the Donald J. Trump Space Command Center in Huntsville, Alabama. Yeah.
Wow, he's naming buildings after him. All right. Hey, listen,
JD, would you like to say something?
Sure.
someone's getting their name on
Mr.
it.
President,
so.
thank you. I'll be very brief here.
Ladies and
I
gentlemen, next
lobbied the
president of the
president
United
hard to put it in Ohio, but he said these people behind us, these Alabamas, are just too powerful and too persuasive. And so it's in Alabama, but as Tommy said, this is exactly the right place for Space Force and Space Command. I think Americans ought to appreciate the fact that you can't win the battle of the future unless you control the skies. The cyber security, the communications, the entire infrastructure of the battle in the 21st century will be in space. So it was a visionary move in the first administration for the president to set up Space Force, and I think an equally visionary move to make sure that Space Force is right where it should be in Huntsville, Alabama. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Gentlemen,
I like him.
anybody
He's
want
really
to say
tight on
anything
his
you'd like
speech.
to say?
Mr. President, another promise
have
made,
no idea who
another
this guy
promise
is.
kept. You think about it, Redstone Arsenal is critical to national security. The president said when you were the
If you
45th
guys know their
president, let's do
names,
what's
put 'em in
right for
chat. I
national
don't know.
security. And today, that's exactly what we're doing.
Huntsville has a
It's
lot of
not
aerospace
because
companies.
of
Yeah,
this
I
or
knew they
that.
had
It's
NASA. I
because
had
it's
no idea
right for
Blue Origin
national
was there.
security. You think of the 21 categories that were evaluated to determine what was best for national security. All indicators pointed back to Huntsville, Alabama, and Redstone Arsenal. We have the right people at the right place at the right time. Mr. President, on behalf
does
of the
make
people
sense
of the
'cause
5th
there's already an
Congressional District
infrastructure
and all
built
of
there.
Alabama, thank you for
I
keeping
think
your word.
that is
Absolutely.
that's honest. They're being honest about that savings part.
Mr. President, I want to say thank you
And thank you for doing this because it was the right thing to do. When they looked at all the numbers, Huntsville was the place to go. And like you say, it was unfortunately pulled out, but
I swear.
you made it right. So
I'm gonna start putting name tags on these guys.
Just say thank you again for a grateful nation.
Hello, my
and
name
to
is.
the state of Alabama. We're very grateful. Thank you and God bless. Thank you.
Or even better, put their donors' names on their shirt.
Thank you, Mr. President. Throughout history, militaries has always understood that whoever could hold the high ground.
These guys
held
look
the
like
advantage.
NASCAR drivers.
Space is the ultimate high ground. And what we're doing with moving the Space Command to Huntsville is absolutely critical to our maintaining dominance in that sphere. And it goes hand in hand with what we're trying to do with the Golden Dome and missile defense to defend against anyone else who tries to enter that sphere. So thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you very much. Please.
Next.
Thank you, Mr. President. And obviously,
gotta give
national
thanks to the
defense is a
king,
huge
you know.
issue. And when you look
It's
at
the
the
ring.
scores, Alabama was #1. And for political reasons, it was moved out of our state. But, Mr. President, thank you for making priorities the defense and the warfighter and the safety of this nation. And in the big, beautiful bill, that Golden Dome will be built in Huntsville, Alabama, and we're grateful for that. Thank you.
Oh, here's Mike Rogers. Now, this gentleman
Listen,
I do know.
As chairman of the Armed Services Committee, I care very much about what's most
he's
important
involved in
for
everything,
our, national
military.
security. And the president
If it gets
held
built,
a nationwide
he funded
competition to determine where we should have this command. If y'all remember, at the end of that competition, where Alabama came in first, there was a lot of complaints from the other states who did not place well. He said, we'll do it over with new criteria to accommodate your concerns. Alabama came in first in that second competition. His Secretary of the Air Force
They won
reviewed the
twice.
results, said it was fair, and the president named Huntsville. It was the Biden administration that decided to make it political, even though his own Secretary of the Air Force said it was a fair competition and it should be in Huntsville. So I want you to know I appreciate this president standing up and being strong and saying he's going to make this right and put it where it rightfully belongs, and that's Huntsville, Alabama.
Thank you very much. Good job.
Now, that seemed pretty genuine. You know.
So thank you all very much. You are going to leave me alone now. You're not going to call me anymore and talk about this subject, right? You promise? They'll start something else. But I just want to congratulate you. It's a very big deal. When you come out and when you leave the room, you'll see that we just, over the last few minutes, literally shot out a boat, a drug-carrying boat, a lot of drugs in that boat. And you'll be seeing that and you'll be reading about that. It just happened moments ago, and our great general, head of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, who's been so incredible, including what took place in Iran, knocking out potential nuclear power for a long time to come. I think within a month they would have had it if we didn't do what we did. But he gave us a little bit of a briefing. And you'll see. And there's more where that came from. We have a lot of drugs pouring into our country, coming in for a long time. And we just, these came out of Venezuela and coming out very heavily from Venezuela. A lot of things are coming out of Venezuela. So we took it out, and you'll get to see that after this meeting is
Are
over.
they going to go right
Do
to
you have
next?
any
If they will,
questions,
we'll
please?
stick with it.
Yeah, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. Senator Tuberville, you talked about the cost savings
Yeah.
associated with this announcement. Can you talk about the strategic benefits by having Space Force Command headquartered in Huntsville?
Well, it just works because we have so much else there. And having a central, you could call it a central command, but it really is a command station. Also, even locationally, where it is, and when you think about flying distances, if you can save a half an hour as fast as some of these planes go and things go, and even the rockets go, if you can save by having the best location. So we went out, as you know, to experts, and we had 4 different groups of experts. They all said this was the best location. I also loved it from the standpoint, I know the people of Alabama, they are great people, work hard, and there's no games, and they're very proud of it. And I would say they fought harder for it than anybody else also. A lot of states, 5 states really wanted it, but they wanted it more. And I kid you not when I say that these people, they spoke to me a lot. That's all they wanted to talk about. They didn't want to talk
I wonder why
about
Colorado
the weather.
didn't win. I would
They
think
only want to
Colorado
talk
would be a
about
great candidate.
moving to this
geographically.
location, moving to Alabama,
And
Huntsville in
they also
particular.
have,
So
a lot of Air
we're
Force
honored to
units
do it.
there.
They really wanted it badly, and they got it. Peter?
President Trump, something completely different, but about a big viral social media trend over the weekend. How did you find out over the weekend that you were dead? You see that?
No.
People didn't see you for a couple days. 1.3
He wasn't on
million
social
user
media, man.
engagements as of Saturday morning about your demise.
Really? I didn't see that. You know, I have heard, it's sort of crazy, but last week I did numerous news conferences, all successful. They went very well, like this is going very well.
I told you they
And
publish
then
a schedule.
I didn't
on
do
roll
any for
call.
2 days,
That's the
and they
website,
said there
right
must
from
be
the White
something
House.
wrong with him. Biden wouldn't do him for months. You wouldn't see him. And nobody ever said there was ever anything wrong with him, and we know he wasn't in the greatest of shape. No, I heard that. I get reports. Now, you knew I did an
I
interview
do
that
wish you would
lasted
stop
for
picking
about
on
an hour
Biden
and a
because
half
the
with
man
somebody,
is
and
old
everybody
and
saw
sick
that
and
was on
it's over.
one of your competitors.
Let it go.
I did numerous shows and also did a number of truths, long truths, and I think pretty poignant truths. No, I was very active over the weekend. They also knew I went out to visit some people at the club that I own, pretty nearby on the Potomac River. And no, I've been very active actually over the weekend. I didn't hear that one. That's pretty serious stuff.
I'm glad it's
Well, it's fake news. You know, it's just it's so fake. That's why
Yeah, it was a social
the
media that
has
spun
so
out of
little
control.
credibility. I knew they were
was- I don't
saying,
even think it was
like,
in the
is he
news.
okay? How's he feeling? What's wrong?
Has he got
I
bruises?
just left. And it's also sort of a longer weekend, you know. It's Labor Day
Yeah,
weekend, so
that's all it was,
I would say a
3-day
lot
weekend.
of people. No, I was very active this Labor Day. I had heard that, but I didn't
Golfing.
hear it to that extent. Go ahead, Peter.
Something else. We know that this country has a huge problem with school shootings. You've said that you're open to sending the National Guard pretty much anywhere. Would you ever consider sending an armed National Guardsman to every school?
Oh my God.
Well, we have a big problem with school shooting.
I don't know if that's
we
the
also
answer,
have
man. I don't know.
thousands and thousands of schools that run perfectly. You know, they talk about you can do things construction-wise, and that's really I think nobody knows more about construction than me. You can build the construction doors. You can build what they call safety doors, where they lock on the outside, the inside, and every place else. Well, but if one of these lunatics happens to get through, then the police can't get in. Then they're looking for keys all
Yeah,
over the
that's
place,
true,
and it takes
yeah.
a lot of
The police
lot
would
of
have to have some kind of
disadvantages
way of
to
getting through those doors
doing,
quickly.
you know, spending billions and billions of dollars and actually making it safer in some way for some of these lunatics that we're dealing with. But I don't think so. I've thrown out the concept. We have great teachers that love our children. The parents love the children.
Love 'em.
Teachers love the children too. And if you took a small percentage of those teachers that were in the military, that were distinguished in the military, that were in the National Guard, et cetera, and you let them carry, that's something that a lot of people like. I sort of liked it. I'd have to be studied, but they're trained. They know about weapons. You can't do it with every teacher because most teachers don't know, and But I always thought that would be an alternative. But it just
I honestly don't know what the answer is. I don't seem to like any of these.
A lot of instances.
School
Other
shootings are
countries
like a
have
very
also.
real
They have
reality
different
here in
kinds of
the United
problems
States,
than
man.
we have,
It's
but we do
sad,
have.
too.
There's
really
something
bad.
going on. Something going on, and it's a bad thing. Yes, please.
Have you spoken with President Putin in the past week? Have you spoken with President Putin?
Yeah, I don't want to. I have learned things that will be very interesting. I think in the next few days you'll find out.
So he is going to make an announcement about Russia.
Some type of announcement of a meeting with President Putin and President
Yeah.
Zelensky.
Yeah, there will be. We're going to see what happens. We're going to see what they do and what happens. I'm watching it very closely. Last week
not
they lost
needed.
7,000 between the two countries. 7,313 soldiers, to be somewhat exact, for no reason whatsoever. And they're Russian and they're Ukrainian, but they're soldiers. I want to see it end. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you decided you're definitely going to send National Guard troops to Chicago?
I didn't say when, but the answer is, look, Chicago's very interesting because I watched Pritzker get up and say we don't need help, we're safe. But
That was the governor.
2 weeks ago, they had 6 people murdered, and they had 24 people hit by bullets. Last week, as you know, it was 7 people, 24 people hit, and 7 people died. And then over the last 2 days, that was the crown jewel. They had, I guess, 9 or 10 killed, and 50 hit with bullets.
Over the
and you
weekend.
have this governor get up, who's a terrible governor. Probably he and Gavin Newsom would be probably the two worst and most naive.
Those two should run together
They're
on the
naive.
Democratic ticket. That'd be hilarious.
Either they're naive or they're very untruthful. And he'll say, we don't want any protection. We don't need. So in the last 3 weeks, he's lost almost 20 people killed. There's no place in the world, including you can go to Afghanistan, you can go to places that you would think of. They don't even come close to this. Chicago is a hellhole right now. Baltimore is a hellhole right now.
I've been to Baltimore. He's right
Parts
about that.
of Los
It's not good.
Angeles are terrible. If we didn't put out the fires, and I mean the other fires,
Baltimore's
the bullet
sketchy,
fires,
man.
they didn't do a good job with. They should have had the water coming down, like I said. You know, we had to release the water. We had to go in and release the water to L.A. It's so badly run. But if I didn't send the National Guard into Los Angeles, I would be making an announcement today. I'd be talking about Huntsville, and I'd simultaneously be saying, by the way, the Olympics is not coming to Los Angeles. If we didn't do that, and even the sheriff, the top law enforcement person in Los Angeles said, we could not have handled it without them. So that's what he said.
Make your mind up on Chicago, though?
Well, we're going in. I didn't say when. We're going in. When you lose, look, I have an obligation. This isn't a political thing. I have an obligation. When we lose, when 20 people are killed over the last 2.5 weeks, and 75 are shot with bullets. So let me tell you a little story about a place called D.C., District of Columbia, right here where we are. It's now a safe zone. We have no crime. It's in such great shape. You can go and actually walk with your children, your wife, your husband. You can walk right down the middle of the street. You're not going to be shot, Peter. You're safe. Everyone likes you anyway. They probably wouldn't do it. But it's so dangerous. And there are people in this audience you've suffered greatly. There are people in this audience that have been mugged and hurt badly, and they don't want to talk about it. Maybe you were very brave in talking about it. You made quite an impression on a lot of people. I appreciate it. But there were other people in this room that have been hurt very badly just walking down the street in D.C. Washington, D.C. is a safe zone right now. It's a safe city. The restaurants are open. They're booming. You can't get a restaurant. New restaurants are announcing that they're going to be open. This took place in 12 days. Now it's 15 days, but 3 days ago it became what's known as a safe zone. It's a safe city. And this city was really bad, really, really bad. We took 1,600 people out, hardcore criminals that will not be coming back anytime
That's a lot of
soon.
arrests. Holy crap.
And we're very proud of it. You know, to have our nation's capital lose every week. You know, it was like years, many years, where every single week somebody was killed for many, many, many consecutive weeks. This went on for years. And then we had, last week it was announced that nobody was killed last week. And I made that announcement in front of a very distinguished leader of a country. And I'm saying proudly, ladies and gentlemen, nobody was killed in Washington, D.C. this week. He looked at me like, what's that all about?
Why is that
yeah, we had a
news?
little bit of a crime problem. And we don't have a crime problem in Washington anymore. And the mayor has been very helpful. And the police commission has been very helpful.
The Capitol building now.
And it's been a great team. And I would love to have Governor Pritzker call me. I'd gain respect for him and say, we do have a problem, and we'd love you to send in the troops, because you know what? The people, they have to be protected. I saw today on one of your networks, not a friendly network, really the opposite, I would say, very unfriendly network. And they interviewed about 12 people on this morning. Most of them were African American, they were black. And they were saying, please, please, please let the president send in. These were people from Chicago.
I was going to say, I saw that on the news. They were doing
We need help. We can't walk
interviews.
outside. We're petrified. If the governor of Illinois would call me up, I would love to do it. Now, we're going to do it anyway. We have the right to do it because I have an obligation to protect this country. And that includes Baltimore. I saw where Governor Moore was
that's the big thing.
Asking me to take a walk down the street of Baltimore. Well, Baltimore's
There's lots
a
of
very
different ways
unsafe
to do it.
place. It's
The
rated
president
number
should not
4
be
in
the
the
one
city.
doing
One
it.
of the worst, one of the most unsafe places anywhere in the world. But, you know, we took care. This was a beautiful thing that happened in Washington because we showed that it could be done. And this wasn't just sending big, strong guys, and they are big and they are strong. You know, we had a great decision from the Supreme Court that had to do with sort of talent. It had to do with you are put down based on merit. You can hire based on merit. So merit for a soldier or for a policeman is strong, physically fit, having a certain ability, not a person that is woke and got the job
in the Navy.
through
You
woke,
just show up to work on time consistently.
Wasn't strong enough to lift a gun out of the holster, et cetera, et cetera. No, I looked at the
show up to work.
Police. As you know, last week I went over. We had a meeting with. There had to be 300 people.
I got like
and
5
they
of
were
them.
all very impressive looking. And when the bad guys see them, they're not going to do a thing. And so I'm very proud of Washington. It serves as a template, and we're going to do it elsewhere. But Chicago is certainly going to be high. I would love to have him call. I would love the governor of Illinois. I'd be honored to take his call. All he has to do is say, sir, we need help. It's out of control. And everyone knows it is. He's not kidding anyone. I would love to have, I would say, Governor Moore call, because I watched him over the weekend trying to explain that Baltimore, what they need is housing. No, they don't need housing. They need to get rid of the criminals. These are hardcore
Enforce the law, yeah.
criminals. You know, we took many people off the streets of Washington, D.C. They're
1,600.
hardcore. They're not going to be good. In 10 years, in 20 years, in 2 years, they're going to be criminals. They were born to be criminals. Frankly, they were born to be criminals, and they're tough.
Oh, that's going to be plastered all over the newspapers tomorrow.
And they won't even think about it the next day. They won't even remember that they did
This is
it.
why you got to stay on script, man.
And we're not going to have those people. Washington, D.C. is now a safe zone. It's a safe place, and you can walk, Katie, you can walk right down the street with, by the way, one of the biggest human beings I've ever seen, which is her husband. He was a football player for like 11 years in the NFL. He's a big person. But big doesn't mean anything when they have guns and when they have knives and everything else that they have, right? But you can walk right down the street, even by yourself, and you're totally safe. Washington, D.C. is a great thing. Yes, ma'am, please.
Mr. President, as you're calling on Democratic leaders across the country to work with you on crime, do you see your efforts here in D.C., including, for example, working with Mayor Bowser here as a model for bringing more bipartisanship in matters not only with crime, but also issues that matter to everyday American people's lives?
So Mayor Bowser's been great. She could have taken the thing, and then after I clean it up, they'll take credit for it. You know what they do is they take credit. Like, we cleaned up Los Angeles. We did a great job there. And it was overwhelming what was going on. And again, the police chief made a statement that we could not have done, there's no way they could handle it. You saw what was happening out there. It was going to be a disaster. We stopped it cold. If we didn't do that, would have been a very sad day. And you know, remember, we have the Olympics, we have the World Cup, we have all these things coming, and we have 250, all of these things coming. But I watched Newsom get up and say he's doing
it's
a
all
great.
over
We're the ones that did
it's
it,
in Canada,
and that's okay,
it's in Mexico,
whatever it
it's
takes.
here.
But the main thing is But he got up and said, "We did it."
I think they're playing soccer.
Well, he didn't want us there, and he's going to need us again because it's starting to form again. I see it. It's starting to form again. You know, we have to maintain. It's like maintenance on an airplane. You can buy it, but you have to maintain it. And if you don't maintain it, a good plane becomes very unsafe very quickly. So it's an honor to do it. It's a lot of presidents wouldn't do what I'm doing. I don't need this heat. But when I watched television last night and I'm watching the news and I see that 9 people were killed in Chicago and 54 were badly wounded with bullets, I say, that's not this country. We have to do something. And I do say this, I say this very much. I'm not speaking to anybody but them right now. I would love to receive calls from governors and mayors saying they need help. We'll help them. We have a lot of people. We have a great force. We have a great military force. You know, Pete will tell you that when I was running for office, and this was a big headline, I think, you know, probably got me a couple of votes, but you couldn't sign people in the military. Nobody wanted to join the military, the Army, Air Force, the Navy, Marines, Space Force, Coast Guard. We never forget Coast Guard because they've done such a great job. Never. But nobody wanted to join any of them. We were way below what we wanted. Every single one. The closest was the Marines. whatever that is. You'll explain that to me. But the closest was the Marines. But every service was way down, way down. And then I got elected, and our country's the hottest country anywhere in the world right now. Everybody's talking about the USA. They're talking about the job that we're doing. Everybody. We have the best economy. We have a very, very important decision being made by the Supreme Court because our country is the richest, the strongest, the most powerful. But if for some reason some liberal court, I'm talking about the court that just ruled, where even an Obama judge voted in favor of us, which I gave him a compliment yesterday, as you know. I said that took great courage. But it's a
Don't
liberal
knock the
court.
crayons, man. They're pretty good, all
and
right?
it's going up to the Supreme Court, who I think
I like
have been
blue.
incredible people. I think they've made very wise decisions. But the tariff question, because without the tariffs, this country is in serious, serious trouble. We've taken in almost $17 trillion of investment is coming in. Most of it is coming because of tariffs. And if for some reason somebody wanted to be politically correct, I actually think it's unpolitically correct. I think politically correct is to approve it because there's nothing so popular as what's happened to our country. Our country is doing so well. But we had a liberal court gave us a very shocking ruling, and that ruling is basically saying that the trillions of dollars that are pouring into our country, putting us in a position like no country is anywhere in the world, that they'd like to see us that taken away. By the way, a lot of the people behind that lawsuit, that particular, are from foreign countries. I might add.
There's a video that is circulating online now of the White House where a window is open to the residents upstairs and somebody is throwing a big bag out the window. Have you seen this?
No, that's probably AI generated.
So
Actually, you can't open the windows. You know why? They're all heavily armored and bulletproof.
So that's a fake video.
Well, it's got to be because I know every window up there. The last place I'd be doing it is that because there's cameras all over the place, right? Including yours. No, but every window, I've
this
never seen a
question?
window that's, in fact, my wife was complaining about it the other day. She said, love to have a little fresh air come in, but you can't. They're bulletproof. And number one, they're sealed. And number two, each window weighs about 600 pounds. You have to be pretty strong to open them up. No, that has to be, where was the window? Let me see.
Oh, he's got it on his phone.
Maybe from the renovations.
Which is the window?
It looks like this is on the 15th Street side, I think.
Yeah.
So right here.
Yeah, those windows are sealed. Those windows they're all sealed. You can't open
Look
them.
at that. AI's getting so good, it's fooling the press.
What you were saying regarding the federal.
It's the kind of thing they do. And one of the problems we have with AI, it's both good and bad. If something happens really bad, just blame AI. But also they create things, you know, it works both ways. If something happens that's really bad, maybe I'll have to just blame AI. But there's truth to it because I see so many phony things. I saw something as I was growing up from the time I was a baby till now. I said, who did that? It was AI generated. So it's a little bit scary, to be honest with you. But those windows are all very heavily sealed.
Thank you, Mr. President. I want to follow up with what you were saying regarding that federal appellate court that ruled against you and your administration as it relates to your ability.
Well, they ruled against our country, the court, and they ruled against us before. It's a very liberal court.
You called it highly partisan in your.
Well,
I don't know what the court he's talking about.
In fact, it was along ideological
Probably
lines,
Ninth
7-4.
Circuit, but I
Well,
don't
except
know.
that we actually got one of the Obama judges that was appointed by President Obama voted in favor of the tariffs because he felt it was imperative for our country to thrive and survive even. And I gave him credit. I said, you know what? That took a lot of courage for him to do it because you don't see that often.
So my question is, I suspect you're going to appeal that all the way to the Supreme Court.
Well, we already have, yeah. In fact, we're doing something else. We're going to be going to the Supreme Court, we think, tomorrow because we need an early decision. I mean, look, the financial
tariffs are in place
fabric
right
of
now.
our country, we're a rich, incredible country right now. And we're able to, you know, other countries use tariffs on us for years, and we never did. I did a lot during my first term, but then we had COVID and we had to focus on other things. You couldn't be tariffing Italy, Spain, France, as they were dying by the thousands and millions. But we did with China, and China paid us billions and billions of dollars, and I started the process, but then I had to end it a little bit because of COVID. We focused on that. But no, it's a very important decision. And frankly, if they make the wrong decision, it would be a devastation for our country. We've taken in trillions of dollars. And by the way, all these countries signed agreements. As an example, they're all happy. Everybody's happy. But some whack job put in a lawsuit. It went before a very liberal court, and the liberal court ruled, it was 11, they ruled 7-4, with one of the most liberal of them all voting in our favor because they're patriots. I think I give tremendous credit to that judge. And now it's going to the Supreme Court. Now we're going to be asking for early admittance. We're going tomorrow, and we're going to ask for an expedited ruling because, when you look at the stock market's down today, the stock market's down because of that. Because the stock market needs the tariffs. They want the tariffs. If you look at AI, all of those,
I don't know about that.
All of that money that's going to be invested, trillions
Stock
and
market's all about
trillions of dollars, the
speculation.
biggest thing, bigger than the internet, I suspect. It's the internet plus 3 or 4 other things combined. We are leading very substantially with AI. We're leading because of tariffs. We're leading because of talent, and this is where they'd like to be. But without the tariffs, we wouldn't have a chance because we wouldn't be able to protect those investments of the companies coming in. So if you took away tariffs, we could end up being a
I don't see how he's
third
making
world
that
country.
connection between tariffs and AI research.
That's how big the ruling.
AI
So
research
we're
is gonna
asking
happen
for an
with or without the
expedited
tariffs.
ruling.
As a backstop to that, President, you have a Republican-controlled Congress. You control the House. You control the Senate.
Yeah, but we don't have 60 votes. We don't have 60 votes.
You don't
I'd love to
think you
do
can get
that.
enough
Oh,
votes?
if we had 60 senators, if we got the 60 votes, we would get them. But we need 60 votes, and we need a certain number in the House. We'd get.
Yeah, I think they call it a
we'd get. I don't know.
supermajority.
We have about 5 of them here. Would everybody agree with me?
It's not a simple majority.
Without tariffs,
it's a
we're a different
supermajority,
country.
so
We
it's
have
60
taken
out of
in
100.
so much money. And here's the thing. We signed a deal with Japan. They're paying us hundreds of billions of dollars. We signed a deal with South Korea. We signed a deal with the European Union. We signed a deal with Europe. And those countries are paying us $950 billion. And they're happy about it. They're okay. As one of them said, it's amazing that we got away with it so long. One of my friends, a leader of one of the countries, and they're fine with it. They all signed. If that ruling ever went against us, I guess we'd have to give back hundreds of billions. We would have to give trillions and trillions of dollars back to countries that have been ripping us off for the last 35 years. And I can't imagine it happening. On a legal basis, they have no legal basis whatsoever. But on a common sense basis, it would destroy America. Okay.
Reducing
We talked about controlling the sky. On Sunday, the satellite signal of Ursula von der Leyen's plane was alleged.
With Ursula? Well, she had an interesting event. She's a tremendous woman. And so what are you
who's
asking me
Ursula?
about her?
NATO is concerned about an attitude.
She's like the queen
NATO
of
is
the seas
concerned
in
about it.
Little Mermaid.
Well, nobody knows where it came from, but they did take away her ability to use a phone. Sometimes that's a good thing. Sometimes that could happen to me. I'd be very happy.
Mr. President, considering reducing the tariffs on India from 50%.
What does that mean?
Are you considering taking away some of the tariffs that you've imposed on India? You had posted.
No, we get along with India very well. But India has, you have to understand, for many years it was a one-sided relationship. Only now since I came along and because of
always been
the power
one-sided
that
with
we
India.
have with tariffs, India
One
was
thing I respect
charging
about
us
India is
tremendous
India's on
tariffs,
India's
about the
team.
highest in the
They
world. They
always
were about
act in
the highest
India's
in the
best
world, number
interest.
one. And
They do it openly.
we therefore weren't doing much business with India, but they were doing business with us because we weren't charging them foolishly. We weren't charging them. So they would
that's their
send
own
in
goal. We
massive,
fucked that up.
everything they made, they'd send it in, pour it into our country. Therefore, it wouldn't be made here, which is a negative. But we would not send in anything because they were charging us 100% tariffs. And, I'll give you an example. Harley Davidson. Harley Davidson couldn't sell into India. There was a 200% tariff on a motorcycle. So what happens? Harley Davidson went to India and built a motorcycle plant. And now they don't have to pay tariffs. Same thing as us. So what we're doing is Literally thousands of companies are coming into the U.S., car companies, AI, but, more traditionally, car companies. We have so many car company factories under construction or being designed right now. And they're coming from China, they're coming from Mexico, I must tell you, and they're coming from Canada. A lot of them coming from Canada. But they're coming into our country because they want to build here. And they want to build here for two reasons. Number one, they'd like to be here. And number two, the tariffs are protecting them. And number three, they want to avoid paying tariffs. When they build their cars here, they don't have any tariffs to pay.
She's the EU
when
leader.
you build here, you don't have any tariffs.
Mr. President,
Go ahead,
in light of the Minnesota shooting last week, the Department of Homeland Security is now awarding more than $100 million to hundreds of faith organizations across the country to help them ramp up security. What's your vision for further protecting religious liberty across the country amid incidents of threats and violence?
Religious liberty is so important, and we're talking about every religion now, and we're doing things on that nobody else has ever done, and we're going to be having a big announcement in about 2 weeks on that question.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
please.
On Space Command, sir, are you concerned that people may not be willing to relocate from Colorado to Alabama?
No, I'm not worried. It will get somebody else.
What the hell?
I mean, the problem with Colorado is they have a
These
very
guys are asking
corrupt
some of the most
voting
inane questions.
Look, I have so many friends in Colorado. Anytime you have mail-in voting, you have corrupt elections. Very simple. It's very simple. Even Jimmy Carter said it with his commission. They set up a commission with him and Scoop Jackson and some people, highly regarded people. And they said the finding was, if you have mail-in voting, you will have corrupt elections. Well, your radical left governor decided that he was going to have all mail-in voting in Colorado. Once you have all mail-in voting, and for whatever reason, the Democrats cheat. And they cheat like, they're not stupid. That's the only thing. They're no good on policy. They're no good on management. They're no good at government. But they're great at cheating. And they stick together, too. I give them credit for sticking together.
She's the president of the European Commission.
Obviously, this is a big win for national security, moving this to Alabama. We've all can agree with that.
Big.
Is there any idea of the economic impact this has on the state and on that local area?
Katie, do you want to answer that?
Oh, yeah, economic impact for Alabama.
Please go.
This is going to be tremendous. I mean, the state of Alabama, what we've seen through this process is the worst of Washington. We've seen politics get in the way of what is best for the warfighter, what's best for national security. And the state of Alabama is about to show the country the best among us. So we know the economic impact is going to be tremendous. There at Redstone Arsenal, we're proud to house everything from the FBI to headquarters there for material command to a number of things. We obviously have NASA with Marshall Space Flight Center, and so this naturally fits within. When you look at the decision matrix that they placed in front of us, that's why we ranked so high, is because we have the resources necessary and the ability to build out quickly to meet the needs in front of us. As far as economic impact, it would be tremendous. Does anybody have an exact number? 1,600 jobs.
3,000 spin-off.
With 3,000 spin-off. Look at this. This is teamwork right here. So we are really proud, and the people of Alabama are ready to get to work.
And I've got a housing question.
Bunch of gentlemen.
Yeah, please.
Owning a home and going about the American dream seems like it's out of touch.
I shouldn't even show this to you.
Just recently, you pushed out a statement about addressing an emergency housing situation.
That's right. We're thinking about doing that.
Yeah, can you just?
Well, we need a little help from the Fed. We have a man named Jerome Too Late Powell. You probably heard of him. He's too late. He's way too late. And the economy is so strong that it's pushing through that. Normally, it would have been much tougher, but we're doing so well that we're pushing through it. But it makes it very hard for people to get mortgages because too late is too late. Very simple. He's too late. And probably political, whatever. He wasn't too late before the election. Before the election, he was cutting rates, right? Because he was hoping that, I guess, Biden would get in or that Kamala would. He was a big Biden guy. Explain that one. And then he was a Kamala person. But he was hoping, I guess, she'd win, I guess. I don't know. It didn't work out too well. But
didn't work out at all.
yeah, we need a very serious cut. I think that if you look back many decades ago, the United States was always the lowest, even if they were doing badly. The United States was, because without the United States, everything in the world would die. It's true. It's so powerful. It's so big.
Okay,
and I made it really big in the first 4 years. Then it started to degenerate with what this Biden administration did. But we built it up to a level that I never thought we could be at this quickly. We're the hottest, we're the best financially. The money coming in is so big because of tariffs and other things, but because of tariffs. Tariff gets us even those other things. Plus, it gets us great negotiating. I settled 7 wars, and numerous of those wars were because of trade. And numerous of the trade deals that I made were because of tariffs. It gives you a great negotiating ability. If that ability were taken away from us by a liberal court acting on essentially foreign nations, asking to get help from the United States government, when they've been doing this to us for 40 years, that's why we have $38 trillion in debt. We won't have it for long if they let us, if they allow us to do what everybody knows we should be able to do. Yeah, please.
Mr. President, another Biden-era action that you're now reversing is that you signed a deal last week to make federal buildings adopt and embrace classical architecture styles again. Can you talk to us about why you do that, and also what's your vision?
Well, we want to see beautiful buildings. Now, it's in the eye of the beholder. I've seen architectural reviews over the years. I'm an expert at it. I've gotten a lot of great reviews. But I've seen buildings that I didn't think were very good get great reviews, and I've seen great buildings get bad reviews. But it's just a standard. We want to have a good standard. We're building something here. For 150 years, they wanted a ballroom at the White House. We're doing something at the highest level, using great architects and all. And, it's very exciting. But we have a lot of interesting things happening architecturally in D.C. And D.C. is like a different place. And, even the contractor said, "Sir, we walked down today, we feel like much safer. It's like a different place." Washington, D.C. is great. Now, we're going to also beautify it. We're going to put a topping on the roads. We're not going to rip them apart and take 4 years to build a road that was exactly the same by the time you build it. But we're going to put toppings. We're going to put new medians in. We're going to get the graffiti off. We're going to put tiles up in the tunnels where the tiles are missing. We'll do the whole tunnel instead of, a little area where you see new tiles, old tiles that never look too good, but they could use it. They've been up for 50 years. They've served their
like
duty.
He's talking about infrastructure.
But we're going to
and
make
making,
this within
roads and bridges
about
better.
a 20-mile radius from
By the
White
way,
House.
the president should have to be thinking about that.
Spick and span.
We have
it's going to be
department heads that do
crime-free,
that.
and it's going to be spick and
Should be
span.
doing
It's
that.
going to be. You'll be proud of Washington again. Go ahead, please.
Sir, China's having a massive military parade that President Putin and Kim Jong-un will be attending. Do you interpret that as a challenge to this? And are you concerned at all about those countries trying to be some sort of counterweight?
Not at all. China needs us, and I have a very good relationship with President Xi, as you know, but China needs us much more than we need them. No, I don't see that at all, no.
I don't know, man. They got special rocks.
And I had actually a very good meeting with President Putin
Kinda
a
need the
couple of weeks
special
ago.
rocks.
We'll see if anything comes out of it. If it doesn't, we'll take a different stance.
March today in California ruled that your deployment of National Guard troops to Los Angeles was illegal. Do you have any response?
Well,
reaction to that?
it was a radical left judge, but very importantly, what did you not tell me in that question or statement that you made? Pretty much of a statement, I think.
Well, I was asking for your response.
No, you didn't say what the judge said, though. The judge said, but you can leave the 300 people that you already have in place. They can continue to be in place. That's all we need. But why didn't you put that as part of your statement? Because the same judge ruled exactly as you said, except the judge said that you can leave the 300 people that you already have in place. They can stay, they can remain, they can do what they have to do. Thank you very much, everybody. We appreciate it. Thank you.
That's the end of that.
Thank
Whenever they start asking these weird-ass questions, that's why you lose the press conference. Like, oh, my God. First of all, I'm really shocked that he did not announce that there's going to be a Department of War. I thought this was the day. So we're still Department of Defense. That's okay, though. All right. It was fun. All right. So, hey, tomorrow's going to be the real stream. This was just something I thought we'd take advantage of. And I'd get some experience playing that Command Modern Operations is the name of that game. I still have it up. I'll bring it up, back it up here for you. I think it was running while we were watching that. Yeah. Hey, all of our ships are still here. So anyway, I'm going to take some time and learn this game a little bit better, so I'm a little more entertaining at playing it. And if you guys want to see something like this instead of Sea Power, let me know. Send me my email address is open to everybody. Aaron@subbrief.com. That's all you got to type that in, man. Smiles. I pay for that. Use it. More people need to be emailing me. That's just expensive. Okay? Or you can just leave a message in the comments if you want to. All right. We're doing a live stream tomorrow. Stop texting me. Some of you have my number. That's not cool. Let me show you the picture. I mean, she's pretty. Oh, man, my wife's going to kick my ass. Never mind. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Stop texting me. That's not fun. Anymore. Cut it out. We should put the thumbnail back up, even though it's wrong. We're not Department of War. It's okay. I still got the thumbnail. I'm going to save it. And when it happens, we're going to use it again. I'm saving money, people. I'm not paying an artist because we're going to use the work he already did. There's no date on that. That could be 2030. That could be 3030. Is that the Wonder Woman symbol? Okay, I might change that. I should put like the little jive turkey head on that. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to modify it. All right.